Everything that started with this, last year I got valves done. I got a new piston, new inner crankcase because that was broke. Basically what happened is the water pump shaft broke right there, and what the mechanic thinks is it overheated, and that's what caused it to blow a gasket. One of the bolts that was holding the cam holder down got loose and actually ripped up the bolt with the helicoil in it, and then the bolt, one of the 4 bolts that hold the head down inside, actually loosened up as well. So he replaced the shaft, rebuilt the water pump and all that again. Did that also last year, and basically put it back together. So hopefully this thing will be good. It's only got 25 hours on the valves and all that from doing the rebuild last year, but while I powder coated this, I had to get a new bearing pressed on. Basically gonna hit the old ones out, put the new ones in, and then try and get this thing finished and get it back together. Old one is out. This one's only a couple months old, but new one's going in. So I got the new one in. I just used this to hit it out. I just put it down the hole on the other end and hit it with the 4-pound hammer. And then once I started tapping it in, I took the old one and I put it down where the flat side was like that. And then you just hit it in, work it left, right, up and down. And then while you're hitting it, you'll be able to hear when it's bottomed out. That fits perfectly in there like that. A little trick I was shown by somebody. I'm gonna take some waterproof grease and grease up the bearing real good. So I just put it back in, grease the top bearing, slid it back in. Just hand tightened the castle nut, and then just put the nut and washer back on top for there. Now we'll put the forks and the front tire back on. Got that on. Now I'm probably gonna mess with the motor and get the side case on. We got the old gasket off. Now we'll go ahead and clean this up a little bit from powder coating where overspray kind of came over. Maybe clean some of that up a little bit. I'm going to throw this cover back on. I got this all cleaned up real good. Cleaned up all the overspray in there. And I sprayed out all these little holes, so those little holes go back into here, circulate oil, I'm guessing. And then got this all cleaned up. So now basically gonna put it on with the new gasket. So I got the cover on. Now we're gonna put the oil filter and the cap on. A little trick I've seen. Put a little dab of grease down there. Then you put your spring in. That'll keep it in place. Just like that. And I put the stator back on as well. Got that in there. Oh, it's hard to see. It's pretty good. So I got it all back together. Got that clutch cover on. The gasket was giving me some trouble, so I just put some grease in the groove and I pressed down really hard and then put it on real quick. But I might take the wire brush and try and grind or wire brush out Honda so that stands out. But before it goes back in, I'm gonna just clean the motor up, all the grease and miscellaneous stuff that's on there, and then put it back in and button everything else up and try and get her started and see how it runs.